Okay, so this is Ringwalk Media in association with Wellhouse Therapy, Still Hub Management, and Barclay Carter Racing. Big Mo, another fight week. Here we are. Yes. And jet lagged, are you?
No, I'm good. Luckily, I'm used to it now. I got my jet lag out yesterday. Try to sleep as much as I can on the plane. Maybe try to take a midday nap on the first day, get a good night's sleep, and now I'm back to square. So I'm just happy to be back. That layoff, I didn't like the inactivity. I needed to get back in the ring. So.
Listen, a busy week here in London, central London, and we're here at the Bronx Money Swindles Gym and the public workouts. There's a few things going on today.
A little bit, yeah. No, I like this feel of the open workouts more. Don't get me wrong, I like the ballroom stuff, and we do it in a hotel or whatever. But I kind of like coming down to the gym, having it be a little bit more tight, everyone closer together, feels like actually a workout. I kind of like it. I like this atmosphere more.
Well, listen, it's a big week for Boxxer and a lot of good fights on the card. Obviously, we'll start with a main event. Fraser Clarke and Fabio Wardley finally get to meet in the ring. What's your opinions on this fight?
I think this fight is wonderful. Personally, I like that it marinated a little bit longer. I know that there was that fiasco with the purse bids last year, but intentionally, unintentionally, it was a benefit. It worked. This fight is much bigger now, in my opinion, than it would have been 12, 14 months ago, right? Did well at the O2. We just opened up more tickets. We got a great card underneath it. I love that it's not a super long card. You don't need 15 fights on every card. This is 6 good, well-contested fights. All have big names in every fight. I think it's good, and I'm excited for Fraser to have by far his biggest test. And in my opinion, Fabio Wardley's also having his biggest test. The interesting thing now is if Fraser wins or loses, where can he go? And if Fabio wins or loses, where can he go? I think that this is like the pivotal point in their careers where it kind of will determine where they go after the fact. So I'm personally excited for both of them.
Well, a cracking fight and a packed O2 as well. So the atmosphere is going to be brilliant. I know that both fighters are very focused on this fight and probably not going to do a great deal of media this week, actually, because that's how focused they are. And I can't wait for this headline. Another fight that's sort of come onto the card recently is Alan Babbage versus Mr. Robinson, who's in the gym in the ring at the moment. We just interviewed him, and he just said, we're meeting in the middle. This is going to be a scrap.
I think you need a fight like this, or at least one, on every single card. 2 guys that just love to throw hands, will kick off the show, will be fun, will be exciting. I mean, I think it's kind of an interesting matchup. Fight kind of came out of nowhere, but you hear him on the pads right now, man. That fight, I think, is the perfect aperitif, the perfect appetizer for the rest of the night. I think it's great.
It's definitely going to be colourful, that's for sure. And I know Alan Babbage will not be quiet.
No, he will not. Babbage scares the shit out of me sometimes. I'm not even going to lie to you.
And he's very wounded at the moment after his first loss, of course.
Of course. I was in Poland with him when that happened, when he lost to Łukasz Rozansky. But Babbage is a warrior, man. I think Babbage is a guy that's already outperformed where a lot of people thought his career could go, and now it's just about getting back on track, right? If it's maybe he's going to go heavyweight for this fight, maybe he goes back down to bridgerweight. Bridgerweight's starting to pick up a little bit. You got Lawrence Okoli going out there, so we'll see what happens. I think there's a lot of heavyweights that are in that tweener stage between cruiser and heavyweight, so that bridgerweight is a lot of people are talking down on it, but I actually think that division makes a lot of sense for a lot of guys that aren't 220, 230, 240, 250, upwards of 280-pound heavyweights. Find a division where they could be competitive inside it.
Well, listen, one other fight on the card, of course, Ben Whittaker, the flamboyant Ben Whittaker, a talent, but he's got his work cut out this week. Leon Willings, a Central Area champion, only just won the Central Area. He's a very tough step up for Ben.
I think so, and you were telling me a little bit about Leon before we got on the bus over, and it's important for Ben to have those step-ups in competition. I think some people are asking for it to ramp up too quickly. I do think that you have to let stars build, and you do have to let them get their experience. He's only had 6 fights, but he's become a superstar. I mean, even stateside where I'm at, people are talking about Ben Whittaker. Blew up. He's got over 1 million followers now or whatever's happening. He's getting big brand endorsement deals. So I love that he's still, but he understands where he's at, right? He's not the main event of this card. He's not even the chief support. He understands that he has to build his career. He has to do it the right way. He can't rush it. and Rome wasn't built in a day. So I think it's a good step up for him fighting Leon. Obviously, Leon, better record than some of the opponents that Ben has faced. Still not a huge resume. I think he's, 7-1 or something like that. So he's still rather fresh himself. So I think it just comes down to, is someone going to put that pressure on Ben to where when Ben starts doing his antics or his taunting or his showboating, are you going to have a fighter that just stands there and lets him finish, or are you going to have a fighter that gets on him as soon as he starts to do it? So we're going to see what Leon brings out of Ben, and also we're going to see what Ben brings out of Leon, I think.
So out of the whole week, which is your pick of the fights? Which one are you really looking forward to?
Vidal Riley, Michaela Wall, in my opinion, that's the best fight for me on this card in terms of ones that I really want to watch, because Vidal has increased his competition a lot, and I still think some people just don't know. Some people still think that he's just a YouTuber. He's not just a YouTuber. He's English champion for a reason. He can box. He's a really talented individual. But now he's going to face someone that has really, really heavy hands. And I'm going to see when Mikhail lands a shot on Vidal, how does Vidal respond? I think Vidal's the better technical boxer. He's quicker, he's smoother. But when Mikhail really puts one on him, I watched Michaela Wall break David Jamison's jaw in the 8th round last year. I saw the kind of power that he has. We're going to see what happens to Vidal when that happens. It's going to happen. So that fight is interesting to me, because I think it's going to see, all right, can Michaela Wall stay in this competitive cruiserweight division? And is Vidal as good as we think he is? I do think he's as good as we think he is, but now we're going to be able to see it.
Well, we can't let you go without talking about one more fight, which of course is Callum Simpson. And Babby's fighting a very, very good opponent. Callum's gone 10 rounds in the last 2 fights, of course, so he's got that experience now. This is probably preparation for the Zach Chelly British title fight.
Well, now the boxing public is seeing what Boxxer and Ben saw 2 years ago, where it takes time for a stable to build, right? People are upset. Oh, he's fighting nobody. He's fighting this guy. You have 4 fights. Some of these guys had 4 fights, 5 fights, 6 fights. It takes time. So now Callum Simpson is stepping up, fighting Mbappe to prepare again for what you said with Zach Chelly. It's a good fight. You have to build the fighters. You have to give them the experience that they need to put them in the best position they can to win. I think Callum Simpson is a perfect example. When you look at this card, with the exception of Babbage Robinson and Marku Congo, you have all the guys stepping into tougher competition to kind of see where they stand, or they're still building up their career. Callum Simpson is a part of that stable. A lot of people are looking at him as one of the next big middleweights, good middleweights that we have. So I think we're going to see how well he performs against Mbappe on Sunday.
Well, listen, the O2, he's beckoning. It's going to be cracking for you as a ring announcer to step out. I think 13 or 14,000 people. You must be looking forward to it.
I love the big crowds. I love the big venues. First time at the O2 was Shields Marshall last year. Still one of the biggest fights I've ever done. Millions of viewers, sold out O2. So I'm happy now to go back to the O2 for the British heavyweight title. I think this is the biggest British heavyweight title that we've had since AJ Dillian White. And I think it's gonna deliver.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing your performance as well on the night. But for now, we've got to go and do some bits and pieces, haven't we? And thank you so much for your time, mate.
Hey, thank you guys very much as well. Make sure you follow Ringwalk Media. Make sure you tune in on Sunday, and I will see you guys in the ring.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you.